Okay guys, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and go over the Geometry Basics test that you took online. You will look in Eduphoria and you'll see that we have the Geometry Basics Corrections test. When you take this, it will help bring up your original grade. However, this is again optional for those of you who feel you need to improve the grade you got on the first test. So question number 1 says, what is the correct notation for the following? We have an arrow, we have an endpoint of A, and a point on the array of B. This is ray AB, and this is the way we select that. Number 2 was select which two rays make up the angle BPD. So we need to go from B to P to D, B to P to D. So we actually do know that both endpoints are going to be P because it's the middle point here. We also can tell that we're going to go P to B and P to D. So our answers are ray PB and ray PD. Number 3 asks which ray is opposite to ray PA. So ray PA is from here to here. And opposite means going the other direction. So if we go from P to D, we go in the other direction. So our answer was ray PD. Which of the following are other names for plane D? We want to select all that apply. So plane HAF, those are 3 points on here. We would prefer them not to be collinear, but that was acceptable. Plane WAN, notice how the N is lowercase. Lowercase letters are labels, and it doesn't have a dot, so it's not a point, and that is not an appropriate response. Ray FWH, let's see, plane FWH. Those are non-collinear points, and they are all on the same plane, so that is appropriate. We're looking at plane D, which is this whole beige shape right here. HDF. Now again, D does not have a dot next to it, so therefore it is a label. It is plane D. So we know that is also an inappropriate response. And finally, we have plane AFW. AFW is going to be that one right there. What is the intersection between line R and plane D for number 5? Line R is right here. Plane D is the beige shape. Point A is where the line crosses the plane. Number 6, we want to find other names for angle 1. So this is angle 1 right here. So we can call it angle D because there's only one angle at that vertex. All right. And so we know it's not going to be angle B, angle A, or angle C because this is not at the vertex. CDA, yes, that's good. DCA, DCA, those aren't even all connected. We're only going to check ones that have D in the middle. So ADC, because remember the vertex has to be in the middle. So we can assume that DCA was not right. ACD, no. ABC, no. HID, no, because the D is not in the middle. KDC though, let's take a look. KDC. That is also not an answer here. There's no ray connecting points K and D, so we can't use that one either. We want to look for which of the following are other names for line N. So let's look at line N. It's the long one right here. KCBE. So we have KC, CK, CB, and BE. Any combination of those, any two of those letters on that line will count as another name. We want to classify angle CBH if the measure of angle CBH is 70 degrees. Less than 90 is an acute angle, so it is going to be acute. Number 4, or part 4, says which of the following angles is adjacent to angle BAD? So we have BAD. So we definitely want one that has a vertex of A. So we have HAD. they share a side. So that's the one we're going to look at. LAH includes most of angle ABD. Or sorry, BAD. Apologize. All right, number 7, they wanted us to measure this in centimeters to the nearest 1 decimal place, and it was EK. So I'm actually going to put it on K and go to E. We put our 0 on the K, and it looks like we are going to approximately 13.5 centimeters according to this ruler. However, this is one question where I did have some, I gave some slack on it, because the measurement on the paper copy versus the measurement on this copy was different. So I wanted to make sure everyone got credit if they were close enough. Which equation would you use to solve for x? These are 2 adjacent angles that form a straight line. That makes them a linear pair. So we know we're going to sum up to 180. So we have equals 180. Only one of them is. So we're going to say 3x minus 16. Plus x equals 180. Now on this one, we want to solve for x. These are vertical angles, so we are going to set them equal to each other. I'm going to pull up another piece of software so we can show our work. One moment. All right, so in this equation, in order to solve for x, I am going to need to get my x's all together and my y's all together, or my constants all together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to subtract 2x from both sides so that I can have my x's be positive. So I'm going to subtract 2x, and then I'm going to scoot this over, and again subtract 2x. And that is going to give me 12 is equal to 2x minus 6. And then from there, I need to add 6 to both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. Remember, anything you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side of the equation. So I'm going to add 6. All right. And that will give me 18 is equal to 2x. From there, I need to divide both sides by 2. I'm going to use my division symbol here. So divide by 2. Divide by 2. And that leaves me with a final answer of 9 is equal to x, or x equals 9. I say x equals 9. All right, in the picture below, we have several parts to this one. It says AC equals 80, AB is 2x minus 4, and BC is 5x plus 7. For this one, I can go ahead and do some editing here. So we're going to write the equation to solve for x. The accepted answers were AB plus BC is equal to AC, or 2x minus 4 plus 5x plus 7 is equal to 80. And again, I'm going to use that equation to solve for x. Okay, so I guess I'm not allowed to do that. All right, so let's combine like terms. 2x plus 5x is 7x. And then negative 4 plus 7 is positive 3. And that's going to be equal to 80. I need to subtract 3 from both sides. And that gives me 7x is equal to 77. Now, if I divide both sides by 7, I'm just going to do it this way. That's going to give me x equals 11. And then finally, they wanted me to find AB and BC. So AB is going to be 2 times 11 minus 4, which is going to be 18, because 2 times 11 is 22 minus 4. And then for BC, we can either do 80 minus 18 and get 62. Or of course we can have 5 times 11 plus 7. 5 times 11 is 55 plus 7 is 62. Which is the best English translation for this mathematical expression? The measure of angle QRS is equal to the measure of angle QRT plus the measure of TRS. So added to the measure of angle TRS. On this one, we have ray BC is perpendicular to line AD. If you had ray BC and line AD, then I gave you partial credit. If you had perpendicular in there, I gave you full credit as long as you had BC and AD. I actually did give a lot of leeway on this one as well. All right. So that is the last question on this test. Remember, if you want to raise your grade from a non-passing grade to a passing grade, you are required to go ahead and do this entire assignment. Make sure that you copy down the work, take a picture of it, and attach it to Google Classroom. In order to get full credit, you need to attach your work. So that's all I have for you in this video, and I'll see you later. Have a good evening.